Okay, hi everyone. So today we're going to cover this topic. This question and answer topic. What is a dormant company? So actually, a lot of our clients, right, they do ask us, right, they say that, oh, my company is not doing, not really a lot, some of our clients are okay. So some of our clients ask us, what is a dormant company? Then what do I have to do if my company is dormant? Okay, so today, right, we're going to cover this particular topic as to what is a dormant company. Okay, so in a nutshell, right, a dormant company is a company that does not engage in business activities. Okay, so what are business activities? Essentially, they are trading, which is buying and selling of goods. So if you buy from your suppliers and you sell to your customers, right, that's trading. Then provision of services. So like for example, if you provide consulting services or you provide like you provide hairdressing services. Okay, so these are provision of services. Or if you are paying dividends, so if you pay dividends, right, which means that there's a profit, then you pay out from the profit to your shareholders. This is actually business activities, okay, but this list, right, is actually non-exhaustive, which means that there are other activities, right, which can fall into the category of business activities which are outside of these three baskets which I placed. Okay, but essentially, right, the main reason why there's a confusion over what is a dormant company is because if you are a company, then you are regulated by two statutory boards or statutory bodies. One is ACRA, which is the Registrar of Companies. Then another one is IRAS, which is the tax authority. Okay, so both the Registrar of Companies and the tax authority, or ACRA and IRAS, they have different definitions for dormant company. Okay, so under ACRA, right, dormant company is deemed to be a company that has no accounting transaction for the financial period. Okay, and IRAS, right, the definition of dormant company is a company that has not conducted any business and not received any income over a 12-month period. Okay, so you can see, right, that even though it's kind of similar, right, but when it comes to this type of regulations, right, we need to be somewhat careful as to how we fall into these definitions, right, so that we don't fall out of what is statutorily required for us to manage our dormant company. Okay, so I give you an example of I explain a bit about what does it mean to have no accounting transaction for the financial period. Okay, so essentially, right, under ACRA is buying and selling of goods from suppliers and to customers. Then you sell assets, like maybe let's say you have some machine, then you sell off the machine to another company or to a buyer, whether it's a natural person or a company. Okay, so this selling of assets, right, is deemed as an accounting transaction. Okay, so can you see that this accounting transaction, right, might fall under what a dormant company is for ACRA, but this transaction might cause you to not be deemed as a dormant company under ACRA, but might categorize you as a dormant company under IRAS. Okay, so that's why a lot of times we ask our clients, right, some questions, then we don't really actually explain to them what a dormant company is in great detail, but we do give them a brief overview of what a dormant company is. Then after that, we try to ask them some questions, and then we see whether it fits into these certain baskets whereby we can actually put them into a dormant company under ACRA or dormant company under IRAS. Okay, so issuance of dividends, I mentioned before, right, is not a dormant company doesn't issue dividends. Okay, and then borrowing of funds, so a dormant company doesn't borrow funds. Okay, so there are some exceptions, right, which is acceptable activities that a dormant company can do. Like for example, if let's say there are new subscribers to the shares, that means that the company wants to issue new shares. The company can do that. It can appoint a company secretary. So like a dormant company may come to us, corporate service provider, and say, can you be my company secretary? Yeah, that we can do. You can appoint an auditor. You can maintain a registered office. You can pay all the penalties. So you cannot say, oh, IRAS issued the company a fine, but because I'm dormant, I cannot pay. Okay, no such thing. Okay, so if IRAS issue the company a fine, you still have to go and pay for the fine. Then example, right, the bare cost of maintaining the company, for example, the web domain fee. So if your company is like maybe your web domain is www.supercompany.com or something like that, then even though you're dormant, right, but you have to maintain this web domain, because maybe 1 year from now you want to come out of the dormancy, the company wants to come out of dormancy, then at that point in time the web domain might be taken over by somebody. So yeah, web domain, web hosting, these are acceptable activities that a dormant company can do. They fall under like bare cost of maintaining the company. Okay, just take note, right, there's no actual definition of list of the activities. It's not exhaustive as well, but in our opinion, right, maybe it's something that a dormant company typically would have to maintain, so we placed it inside. And normally our clients ask us, is this an activity that a dormant company can do, right? But because we're not lawyers, we're not a law firm, so we usually forward our clients to go and look for a lawyer, seek legal advice from them. We can share what we know you have to do, and we can share what we know with our clients as well, and that's about it. So if any client wants to have legal advice as to how to run your dormant company, right, you have to actually go and look for a lawyer proper. Okay, so then the ACRA filing requirements, right, you are exempted, the company is exempted from statutory audit requirements. However, right, dormant companies must still file annual returns. Okay, I cannot stress this enough, because a lot of times our clients tell us, oh, I'm dormant already, so I don't need to file annual returns. That is not true. Okay, so dormant companies must still file your annual returns. Okay, the dormant company still has to prepare financial statements, unless the dormant company is an unlisted company and it's not a subsidiary of a listed company. So listed company is one that is listed on the Singapore Stock Exchange or any stock exchange. So you're listed on the stock exchange. So if your company is listed on the stock exchange, you still have to prepare financial statements. Okay, so and if the company is a subsidiary of a ListCo, the company still has to prepare financial statements. So then the company also needs to fulfill the substantial assets test. Okay, so long as the total assets of the company at any time within the previous financial year do not exceed 500,000, $500,000, then you would pass this substantial assets test. Then you don't need to prepare financial statements if you are below this amount. Okay, and then the directors need to make a declaration of dormancy. I'm not going to go into details of what the declaration entails, but this is the requirement that can exempt the company from preparing financial statements. But as I need to stress again, the dormant company needs to file annual returns. Okay, so that's the ACRA requirements. Okay, then next, right, is IRAS. So IRAS deems a company dormant if it has not conducted any business and not received any income over a 12-month period. Okay, so a few things that I need to point out, because if your financial period is, let's say, 1st January to 31st December, then after that maybe the company is dormant from June to July, okay, or something like that, maybe somewhere in the middle of the year. But then the fact of the matter, right, is that this is what we see. Okay, so essentially, right, your dormancy, your 12-month period, right, must match the 12-month period that you have to file your corporate tax for. So like, for example, if your corporate tax filing, right, is based on the calendar year, but your dormancy, right, is over 12-month period, right, is not based on calendar year, then you still have to file your income tax, your corporate income tax. Okay, so that means that if, let's say, your financial period, right, your financial year for your company is, let's say, 1st January to 31st December, then the company is dormant from maybe August onwards. That means that for that financial period, right, you still have to file your corporate tax. If you're not sure, right, please look for a filing agent, or please look for people who are doing tax like our company, then we will guide you accordingly. So this one, please take note, just because you're dormant, right, doesn't mean you do not file corporate tax. You still are accountable for the period that the company is not dormant. Okay, so if you fulfill the dormancy and it covers the period, right, still have to file your corporate tax unless you apply for a waiver. So the application has to be done to IRAS, and then once the waiver is granted, right, then the company does not have to file corporate taxes. Okay, so that's all from me, right, for this topic. So if you have any queries, right, you can drop us an email, or you can go to our website, read out on our blogs and our articles. Okay, so that's all from me, and I'll see you at the next video.